Title: Vermont troopers stick to not guilty in high-stakes reckless endangerment courtroom drama. TLDR. In an explosive courtroom drama, two Vermont state troopers, Sergeant Ryan Wood and Trooper Zachary Trocchi, maintain their innocence in a reckless endangerment case linked to a hotly debated use of force incident from last summer. Prosecutors, having had their simple assault charges against the troopers thrown out last week, keep the heat on, intending to refile the same charges. Meanwhile, the legal teams duke it out in a fiery debate over law enforcement accountability, public safety, and the alleged excessive use of force. Deep dive. Order in the court. There was an air of anticipation and nervous energy as the arraignment of Sergeant Ryan Wood and Trooper Zachary Trocchi lasted only a hot minute. You could have heard a pin drop as both troopers delivered their not guilty pleas to charges of reckless endangerment. Do you remember the case? Let me jog your memory. It stems from an incident where a man, reportedly behaving erratically, took a tumble off a roof after receiving a welcoming beanbag round from one of our officer friends here. A bit extreme, you think? Last week's ruling had it that there wasn't sufficient evidence for the simple assault charge, but guess what? The Vermont Attorney General's office is doubling down, planning to refile the charge. Did you expect that? David Slay, the man tasked with defending Wood, boldly claims both charges are baseless. But, if a new affidavit was to magically appear, what shocking revelations could it bring? The Attorney General Charity Clark justified the decision to charge the troopers, stating the victim was over 70 feet away and posed no immediate threat. Excessive use of force is the exception rather than the norm in Vermont, but when police use of force is not justified, there needs to be accountability, said Clark. Do you think this is a case of accountability, or is there more to the story? Slay fired back with an alarm about this case setting a dangerous precedent and hindering law enforcement's ability to do its job. He voiced concern over the harm of charging police officers when the facts are unclear or simply inadequate to support a criminal charge. Do you agree with him, or do you think officers should always be held accountable? For now, Trocchi and Wood are on paid administrative duty. But what's next for these officers? And how will this case impact the future of law enforcement in Vermont? Is this a case of just doing their jobs, or has a line been crossed? Do the charges against the troopers enhance public safety or threaten it? With the legal eagles back in their nests for now, the wait for the next act in this courtroom drama begins. Let's hear your verdict. What do you think? Disclaimer: this report is based on the information available at the time of publication and does not serve as legal advice or a recommendation. The views and opinions expressed in this article do not necessarily reflect those of Turned Up News.